What's up guys, back in today with another tier list video, and today I'll be ranking all the Gintama serious arcs on a scale from D to SS tier. Really looking forward to this one. Again, it's going to be quite a bit shorter than the last character one because there was a whole load of characters on the list. Unfortunately, quite a few were missing as well. I did just pick the kind of first character list to come up with the most involved. If you were to put every character in there, I think it would probably be at least kind of 300 characters, and that would take a whole long time to do, but I'm glad they got the kind of main ones in there, some of my favourite characters at least, but some of my favourite side characters were missing, unfortunately, like Takatin, for example. Not Takatin, sorry, Takachin, for example, was missing, and I really enjoy him as a character, although we don't see him that much, but yeah, a few dubious choices as well. Of course, I did just do it kind of all off the bat in that 1 hour, so I didn't really have much time to think about it and such, and I probably would make a few movements here and there, but again, that's what I felt in that moment. And as you guys know, I usually judge anime's characters and such mostly based off my feelings rather than kind of any logical thoughts or any kind of storytelling. If the story's good, I feel kind of good about the story, and then obviously I judge my feelings in that aspect, but it'll be much the same for these arcs. Whichever arcs kind of make me feel the most emotional, the most happy, most sad, whichever one had a good story, of course, contributes to that kind of feeling being created, of course. But yeah, I mostly go because my memory's not that great of what I felt during watching that, so really excited to get into this one. I might whiff a few facts here and there about some of these arcs, so looking back at some of these arcs were quite early on, so again my mind might be a bit whiffy, but I think I remember the feelings I went through when I did watch them. The first challenge will be this finding out which arc is which. I'm lucky I only done the serious arcs, because if I'd done every arc, it was almost impossible to tell what arc was which in some of the photos, unfortunately. I could have uploaded my own photos to the tier maker, but that would have just taken absolutely ages, so thought I'd take someone else's list on the steel scene, unfortunately. But I think this, see, I'm not sure about this one. I think this might be the Thorny Arc, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm just gonna have to check. And like this one, for example, I can't tell what this one is. I've got absolutely no idea. It's just Gintoki and a burning building. So yeah, we're gonna have to probably Google at some point what arc is which, but we'll do the ones we know for now. I'm pretty sure this is the Zakara, one of the first kind of serious arcs in the series. It was quite enjoyable. Definitely not my favourite, I'll say that. And I was definitely impressed by Takasugi in this arc, especially with his presence and with his kind of addition to the series. But in total, I didn't actually enjoy it as much as other people until I got around to watching the movie. Now the movie was really awesome. Unfortunately, I did watch that on my own time, and it's not on the channel, but really enjoyed the additional animation, especially for some of the fight scenes with the huge sword and such, with the huge Zakara. That scene was absolutely amazing. But yeah, this was kind of a turning point almost in the show, or the seriousness, but not really sure where to rank it. I think B be fair enough for now. Again, I have no real context as well into where the other ones are going to go, so I might end up changing things at the end. This video is going to be a whole lot shorter than the character tier list, so I will go over it at the end and have a little move about. But then we've got, see, I'm going to leave that one because again, I'm not 100% sure if that's the Thorny Arc or not. I imagine it is, but they've then got this Beam Saber style arc, I think it's called. Now this one was real unprecedented. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but unpredictable, because I didn't hear too much about this arc going in. Didn't hear many kind of really awesome things, which I did about some of the other arcs, especially in that season. But this was one of my highlights of the season with this arc. It was so awesome seeing Otei and Jinpachi's kind of sensei for a little bit. And he was such an amazing character, and it was also very emotional in the last episodes as well when we had to say goodbye to him. So for me, this is a very underrated arc, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people actually have it as a very underrated arc. So maybe it is kind of rated, but I really enjoyed this arc when I watched it. So I think that has got to go. Ooh, a difficult one again. I think we'll put it S tier. Again, there'll be a bit of movement at the end, but I think we're going to go S tier for now. Of course, you notice there's an SS tier as well, just because S tier isn't enough for Gintama. It really isn't. It needs SS tier as well. What is this one? Oh, this is the again, I'm probably going to have to look it up to remember the specific episodes. This was a while ago, but obviously we see Sada Sada in there. I'm just not 100% sure in the contents of the rest of that arc, so I'm going to have to look that up after I've finished with the rest of them. We've then got this one, which I can't quite tell what that is because it's just the Shinsengumi. Maybe that's Farewell Shinsengumi. Yeah, again, not 100% sure. So we'll check that out in a little while. We've then got the 4 Devas arc, I'm pretty sure. It's much easier with the ones with all the characters on because it shows everything to do with the arc. Although I say that and then these two have got all the characters on. But yeah, I recognise this one. I'm pretty sure is the 4 Devas arc, which was again another big turning point for me in the series and what made it probably my favourite series at that time. With Jirocho being introduced as an absolute badass, and the story with Oto's getting to know her husband. Yeah, sometimes I get Ote and Oto's mixed up. But yeah, getting to know her old husband and seeing her meeting Gintoki as well. When Gintoki was still this like little demon and such, and then Gintoki wanting to protect her and taking on Jirocho. Then Jirocho going back to back with Gintoki versus Kada was just absolutely insane. The end of the arc as well, seeing Kamui and Takasugi, 2 kind of big characters getting together, was just amazing as well. So this one's got to be up there as well for me. Probably SS tier, to be honest with you guys. It was absolutely amazing the whole way through the arc. So 4 Devas SS tier for now. We've then got, I'm pretty sure this might be the Fuyo arc. Got Tama in there. Yeah, I think this might be the Fuyo arc. Now again, I can't really remember this one too well. I remember obviously Phenis Mondra. That was a great moment. But I think in total I didn't actually enjoy it that much, and especially in comparison to these 3 that are already on here. Of course, we did meet Tama for it, but Tama was kind of like a different person until towards the end of the arc. I'm pretty sure in saying. Again, I could be very wrong, but obviously, Tama herself is an S tier character, but this arc is not great in my opinion. It's good, but not great. So I think we're going to put it in C tier. Again, it's been a long time since I watched it, so when I do get round to my rewatch, it'll be very interesting to see how it is on the second viewing. But just off my feelings of what I felt when I watched this in comparison to these 3, I feel like not as great, not as memorable, not as many big moments as well. But then we've got this one, which is quite obviously the Kintama Arc. Where are we going to put this? This was a really awesome arc for showing just how much again Gintoki means to everyone. It's almost like the end of the Silver Soul aftermath, and towards the end of Gintama, it kind of shows how much Gintoki means to all these guys and how much he's done and such. And it's a little bit the same in this arc with Gintoki taking over. Again, didn't have the biggest and best moments, so I think we're going to put it in the C tier. I think we'll put it above the Fuyo arc though, because it did have some really funny moments, as well as Gintoki being a quite awesome character. Hated, of course, hated character, and obviously I didn't like him during the time as well because you can't really take over Gintoki. But yeah, it was actually quite a funny guy, and obviously came good towards the end of the series as well. But again, as that arc as a whole, I don't really remember too much about the plot and such, so I've got to put these 2 together. Again, just not being too memorable, but can't wait for a rewatch. This wasn't even too long ago. I think this was only about 100 odd episodes ago, but yeah, again, these 2 are not nearly as memorable as Benny Zakara, Beam Sword, and 4 Devas for me personally, at least. I've then got the Mitsubarak, which is one of the earliest arcs as well. I'm pretty sure it's about around episode 100, I think. So just after the Benny Zakara, but this was one of the first arcs that got me really emotional in the series. I think I did cry maybe 1 or 2 times up until that point with some 1 or 2 kind of episode arcs, but this was the first one to make me kind of go big time emotional and feel really invested into the characters and this whole world as well. Of course, it was just this one girl showing up at the story who we hadn't really seen before, but we know the kind of undergoings of the Shinsengumi and how they all got to meet during that arc as well was actually just a really great arc, especially for early on in the series. So I think this one got to go above Benny Zakara, and I think I'm going to put it just under the Beam Sword style arc for me in S tier. definitely an S tier worthy arc, and considering this early on in season 1, that's actually a big kind of a big statement, because a lot of people say season 1 and especially the early stages aren't that great, but I disagree with that 100%. But then we've got the Yagyu Ark, I'm pretty sure that is. Now this is a difficult one because we got a lot of character developments and such, especially with the Yato families in this one. Did introduce Coca as well, who's a really cool character. Again, I didn't rate her that highly on my character tier list just because I rated her as a personality, which I maybe shouldn't have. Maybe should have rated how she kind of has an effect on the characters and how she's like the main aspect of the story, and how everyone's kind of developing on the changes she made to the story and such. But I did mainly focus on her as a personality, and when I did rate her, I obviously rated her being the fact that she didn't speak too much and we only saw a little bit of her. But yeah, maybe I should have rated her off her kind of implementation in the story. But I think as a whole, this arc was actually insane. Again, we got a lot of sick fights with the Yato, with Kamui, Umibozu, Kagura. We saw those horrible dragon things, getting to know Umibozu's past, Utsuro dropping down as well. A whole lot happened in this arc, so this one's got to go reasonably high. I really enjoyed the start of it as well. Although the start didn't have that much to do with the latter stages of the arc. I think the start with like the 3 captains and such was actually a really great kind of build up towards the end of the arc as well. I think this one for me, Rakuyo. I think I'll put this in S tier as well. Yeah, just below these two, I think, in S tier for me. And then we've got to go the Red Spider arc, which again I can't remember too well. I remember Jiraiya being an absolutely great villain. Absolutely great. My favourite villain at the time, I'm pretty sure he was. And just his relationship with Sugio as well, being master and teacher, and how intricate their relationship was as well, was just very interesting for me. It was quite a dark arc as well. Gintoki being quite a big focus as well, of course. I just love the darkness and the grittiness of this arc. For me, I think this got to go A tier. Again, it could go in the S tier, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know the very specifics. I think there was a lot of references in this arc as well to kind of future events in Gintama, but again, I'll see on the rewatch. And in the rewatch, these could all change 100%. But just from memory, I think A tier seems about good for me. Just a bit better than the Benny Zakara, but not quite as good as Rakuyo. And then we've got the Reaper arc, which was a brilliant arc, especially, well, I haven't read the manga, but in the anime, it was animated beautifully, and the characters in this arc introduced were very interesting. We get to know a lot about the kind of Shogun as well. I think I might be wrong in saying, but I think Nobu was introduced in this arc, though again, I could be very wrong. I think he actually was. But yeah, her brother as well, the Reaper's brother, was a very interesting kind of antagonist, although I'm not really sure he was the antagonist at the end. Again, it's been a little while since I watched it, at least 100 days. But the Shinigami herself was an absolutely great character, and her knowing Gintoki early on, and again, just kind of setting some setup for future arcs. It was actually a big player in my opinion, and again, I really have fond memories of this. Although I didn't cry or anything, I didn't get too emotional, I didn't get too happy or anything either. I feel like this had a massive impact on the series in my opinion, so it's got to go quite high there for me. I think it's going to go S tier. I actually prefer it than Rakuyo, sorry. Difficult, this one. I think I'll put it just under the Mitsubarak in S tier. Again, this is why there's an SS tier, because a lot of them could just go S tier. But yeah, Reaper arc, very, very sick arc, very nice animation, and again, just massive impact on the story, so I can't really have it go anywhere else. And then we've got the Shinseng Me Crisis Arc, which is another really early arc, about 100 episodes through as well. And this was one of my favourite arcs, and this is again another moment where I did tear up and I felt so emotional over Ito. I did relate quite a lot to the guy, obviously not in every aspect of his life, but he was just a really awesome dude at the end of the show, especially being shown as this antagonist. It was one of the kind of first times as well it did that, where it kind of showed these antagonists and then turned you right around on them and gets you feeling for them and such. And it does that all throughout the series as well after that, which is something special that Gintama does, and I'm not really sure any other shows can really pull that off. But with this one, it was brilliant. The fight with Bonsai in the helicopter, the train scene where Ito kind of sacrificed himself, and then all the kind of lines coming off Ito and connections coming off him at the end, making him one with the Shinsengumi was an absolutely beautiful moment, and that's one of the ones that got me the most during that arc. I'm not looking forward to watching that again because I'm probably going to tear up big time again. I do remember watching it a few times after I initially reacted to it on the channel, though, in my own time. That's how much I enjoyed this arc. So again, a really underrated one for me. I think this one gets quite a bit of hate and such, and is not loved nearly as much as the other ones in the series. But for me, this is definitely, at the time, it was my favourite one. So yeah, quite high up there for me. I think I'm going to put it definitely above Benny Zakara during the time I remember feeling. I think we're going to put it in A tier as well. Looking back, not as good as these 4 arcs in my opinion, and I won't be able to tell right now if it's better than the Black Spider arc, because again, it's been quite a while since I watched both of these arcs. So I think these two in A tier, not ordered, of course. I might order it at the end, but I think both of these in A tier make perfect sense to me. Again, this one I have no idea what arc it is because again, it's just Gintoki. I think this is the Silver Soul arc. See, I'm not 100% sure which one's the Silver Soul Aftermath arc and which one is the... Okay, so yeah, this one is obviously the Yoshiwara arc. This one the Yagyu Ark, and then I think this is the Silver Soul Aftermath because we get Zonald Zarumpo, and I think this is the Silver Soul arc. So I'll figure out these ones in the end. This one must be Farewell Shinsengumi at that one, and I have no idea what this arc is called. Is that Kurtzan of a Nation, perhaps? Again, if that is Kurtzan of a Nation, I'd expect the old man to be there, but I'm pretty sure that is Kurtzan of a Nation because again, Sada is in that arc mainly. I'm pretty sure, and yeah, this one must be the Thorny one in that case. I think. Again, I could be missing some. Okay. Yeah, who knows? I guess we'll start with... Where's Shogun Assassination? There's no Shogun Assassination arc here, is there? Or maybe that's the Shogun Assassination arc. Don't know if that would be though. I guess we just rate it as that. I guess. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll do the Silver Soul arc. Okay, so we've got this Silver Soul arc, which again didn't have too many kind of crazy moments or anything. I think it was more not setup, but it was a good setup for the next half of the next season, the Silver Soul Aftermath. But I think in its own right, it was really awesome. It had a lot of great moments with all the cast, and did bring everyone together. We saw the return of the Shinsengumi, and again, it got things going again in the series. But just looking back at some of the episodes and my reactions and such, it was more of a kind of group effort than anything, and learning a lot more about the story and the Amanto and such. Just got my phone up here. There were some very hilarious episodes early on, but I think I'm going to rate this in A tier. I think I prefer everything in the S tier than this, but I think I will put it at the top, as again it did have some amazing episodes in there. So yeah, A tier for the Silver Soul arc. And then going on to the Silver Soul Arc Aftermath, I think this has got to go S tier, because included the movie, just absolutely crazy. I actually read mostly manga for it, and even in the manga with the reuniting of Shinpachi and such on the bridge, and Kondo in space, and Zarumpa. There's just so many sick moments in it. I think it probably is my favourite arc in all of Gintama. I think Four Davis is very close, but Silver Soul Aftermath was just again a perfect ending to the perfect series. So yeah, SS tier for that. It was nice having a little time skip as well. Always enjoy a time skip, especially if it's done well. I'll put my phone away now. I had to look up a couple of the episodes for the Silver Soul arc. But then we've got the Yagyu Arc, which is interesting, because I kind of see it as more of a comedy arc more than a serious arc. But I guess it is a serious arc because it did get the Yagyu family kind of introduced to the series, although they weren't too important going forward. Obviously Kyubei was being in a lot of episodes, but the family as a whole wasn't too important going forward. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that's here as a serious arc, but it was really good. Again, a lot of laughs. The serious moments in it were okay. Again, it's not too memorable in that aspect for me. It was more memorable during the toilet episode and such, and fighting with the little cups on. I think Shinpachi won that in the end, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I do really like Kyubei as a character as well, but I just don't think this is up to par to the other ones. I think I prefer it to the Fuyu arc, just thinking about it. Again, my memory's not 100% in everything, so I'll put that in the middle of these. Actually, yeah, I think in the middle of there is actually alright. Then we've got the Yoshiwara arc, one of the another one quite early on at 150 episodes. And this arc was really awesome. We got a lot of cool moments with Kagura turning into a Yato blood, Kamui being introduced into the series. Of course, we had Hosen, I'm pretty sure his name was, him being a really great antagonist as well, just so powerful, and his fight against Gintoki was great. Tsukio being introduced in this arc as well, who again gets further explored in the Dark Spider arc, and a character again is so interesting and such, being this courtesan for such a long period of her life at such a young age was again just a very interesting topic. But and bringing light to Yoshiwara again, there was just a lot of great moments. Hanoa, Seita as well, trying to find his mum. Was a great arc, especially for how early on it was. So I think this one has got to go A tier. I think I would put it above. Again, I didn't get quite as emotional as I did in the Shinseng Me Crisis Arc, but I think this did do so much more for the story as well going forward. Obviously expanded on Yoshiwara and that being a big part of the Gintama universe. I think this one has got to go towards the top of A tier. I think honestly it probably does beat out Silver Soul arc in my opinion. And then we've got the ones we're not 100% sure about. So I think this is the Thorny Arc, and this is again a really awesome arc for me personally, because Hijikata being one of my favourite characters as well as Gintoki, then both getting a big focus in this arc was great. Isaburo as well, and the Miwa Warugumi getting a focus on. I didn't appreciate it that much during the time, but now later on seeing what happened with Isaburo and such, and what happens with Nobame being the kind of chief of the Miwa Warugumi, it just does so much for the story later on, and even during the time, and seeing some of my favourite characters battle it out as well is just absolutely awesome. So this one's got to go quite high for me. I think it's got to be I think it's got to go A tier. I think we'll put the Thorny Arc in the middle of A tier. Again, I'm not really 100%, can't remember 100% what the plot was. I think they were trying to kill someone or something. Again, I'm not 100% sure with the plot, but just as a feeling based memory, I remember it being absolutely awesome. So yeah, middle of A tier seems about okay. And then we've got the Kurt's Assassination arc, which was again a really awesome arc. The story was actually one of the things I didn't. A lot of people absolutely love this arc and such for the story in that, but I didn't actually get down with the story too much with the story of the old Kurtizan and the old guy with no arms. Of course, I felt for the guy with no arms and such, wanting to meet his old Kurtizan from back in the day, but it didn't get me too much in my feelings, and it didn't get me too emotional like some of the other like Mitsubarak and the Beam Saber arc, for example. But I think as a kind of progression and kind of setup for later episodes and later stories, and giving us a lot of information about again the leaders of the shogunate and such, and introducing a Boro as well. Done a whole lot for the story later on, so you got to respect that aspect of it, as well as some really awesome fight scenes, and Sada being a really great villain as well. Of course, the Shogun being quite a big part of the arc, Tsukiyo as well, Nobame. It was a really good arc all around, to be honest. But again, I wasn't quite on that emotional train to tearing up and such towards the end of the arc. Remembering the OP and such, I'm not going to rate these based off the opening and endings, but the opening for this arc was one of the absolute best. So yeah, got to say that. But I won't be adding that to its kind of qualities. But this one's got to go reasonably high up because again, it does do a whole lot for the story. I think it. Ooh, I think it beats out these guys. Is it better than the Silver Soul arc? I think so. Is it better than the Yoshiwara arc? I think so. It's not as good as Rakuyo or the Reaper arc, though, in my opinion. So I think top of A tier seems about okay. Again, I'm literally just going off this. I haven't put no prior thought into this, so this might even not be my correct opinions on it, and I might be getting some marks mixed up and such. But I think that seems about okay. Then we've got the Farewell Shinsengumi Arc. Yeah, for the Farewell Shin arc, a lot happened. Of course, we saw Isaburo's story, as well as saying goodbye to the Farewell Shinsengumi, as well as some of them coming back during that arc as well. But I do remember after they did leave for a while, then they came back in the Silver Soul arc. I'm pretty sure, maybe earlier. Again, I can't remember that well, but yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic arc, especially coming straight after the Shogun Assassination arc. Just two absolutely crazy arcs, one after another, and again done a lot for a lot of characters during that time. If I do look back quickly, yeah, we saw some Nobu Nobu kind of shenanigans going on as well. Utsuro dropping down, but again saying goodbye to Kondo at the end and such was very emotional. It was a very emotional arc in total, and a whole lot of action during the arc. There wasn't really any boring episodes at all or anything, so I think this one's got to go SS tier as well. Again, I haven't rated them yet. I might rank them after I rate this last one. But it's going to be quite difficult ranking him, to be honest. I think down there is rated quite well, but now we're on to the Shogun Assassination arc, which I think for me has got to go SS tier again. Again with the Farewell Shinsengumi arc, just these arcs back to back like this is just absolutely crazy, and then Rakuyo straight after. But these two arcs back to back was just absolutely nuts. There were some amazing episodes in this Shogun Assassination arc with Takasugi, him fighting Gintoki, just all that was on the line as well with Utsuro. Again, looking back at some of my reactions, of course we had to say goodbye to Shige, which was a horrible moment. We had a lot of near deaths as well with Sachan and Zenzo and such, but there was just a whole crazy amount of fights here. Akita versus I was about to say Akita. I always say that Akita versus Sogo. Sogo Akita versus Kamo was a great fight, and again just done so much to expand the story to the kind of end game of the story as well. Was yeah, just a pretty much perfect arc along with the Farewell Shinsengumi, and again just one after each other. Just fair play to Gintama, man, for having those quality arcs. So now I've rated everything, I'm just going to have a look over them all and see if I agree with it. See, it's horrible putting this right at the bottom. It's like you guys will obviously see that as me I'm not saying it's bad, but C tier is not bad. Let's get that straight. C tier is at least like a 5 out of 10, which is average. So yeah. Then we've got the Yagyu Arc. I think, yeah, Fuyo, Yagyu, Kintoki. I think that's about right. Again, I haven't got a full kind of memory or kind of fresh memory of these arcs, so some of these might be a bit whiffed. Then we've got the Benny Zakara by itself in the B tier, which I think including the movie is fair enough. Then we've got the Shinseng Me Crisis. I think there's actually like little, not movies, but little kind of recaps of these. I'm not sure if they've updated the animation or not, but I might go back and watch them. So I haven't watched them yet. And I think there's one of the Shinseng Me Crisis. I think there's another one, but can't quite remember what arc it's about. But yeah, Shinseng Me Crisis, Dark Spider, Thornies, Silver Soul, Yoshiwara, Kurtizan of a Nation. It feels kind of bad leaving this here as well, but I think again it does just set up the Silver Soul Aftermath to just be this masterpiece of an arc, rather than have most of the big components in it itself. Although a lot did happen, to be fair, in that arc, so I think I might be rating this one too harshly, you know. I think we're actually going to put this at the top of A tier, because I think I did, looking back, I think I did get more enjoyment out of this than I did Kurtizan of a Nation and Yoshiwara, in my opinion. Thorny's arc. And yeah, I think that's about right for the A tier. S tier got Rakuyo, Shinigami, Mitsubarak, Beam Saber. It's hard with this one because again the quality of the Shinigami arc was just out of this world. Rakuyo was really awesome as well. A lot happens. It's hard rating this one, isn't it? And again, you've got to count as well. Rakuyo was straight after the farewell Shinsengumi and assassination, Shogun Assassination arcs. So again, that just adds to its quality. So I think that is about right for these. Yeah, I'm gonna leave those at that. And then ranking these ones are going to be difficult as hell. I think I'm going to leave this one at SS tier. I think I just swap these around and that's it. So it goes fourth is 4 Davers, then Farewell Shinsengumi, then Shogun Assassination, if that is Shogun Assassination, I imagine it is, and then Silver Soul Aftermath, which, yeah, I think this is the final tier list. Let me know what you guys thought about this tier list down below, if I made any kind of huge, well, not errors, but any kind of huge misjudgments or anything. Let me know what you guys would have placed some of these as well, and which ones are your favourite, or which ones making it into your SS and S tiers. Again, I think I got this about right. It's kind of crazy that I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 10 arcs A tier or below, A to C tier, which again is, for me, I see it as like a 5 to a 7 or an 8 out of 10. And then there's 8 arcs that are, for me, again, a 9 to a 10 out of 10. So just shows the quality in the series. But again, let me know what your guys' tier list would look down below if I made any big changes to what you guys would make. Also leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy this video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with any of my tier list videos or reactions. I usually react to anime once or twice a day usually, and I do these tier list videos. I don't really do them that often actually, but this week I'm going to be doing a few Gintama tier list videos. I think we've got one more to do, which I'll be doing on Friday or Sunday. I'm not 100% sure which day, as I'll be starting my new anime I'll be watching on the channel, Haikyuu, on Monday, and then I'll be watching that daily, and then obviously Gintama will be finished on the channel, which is again going to be quite unfortunate. Kind of, yeah, just very sad it's all over. It feels so quickly again, even though I was watching it for over a year. Again, it just feels like it's been absolutely blasted by. I had an absolute blast with the series, but yes, quite sad saying goodbye. But again, I'm going to be watching 360 episodes again in my own time, which I can't wait for. If I do get time, I haven't really had too much free time myself recently, except yesterday, of course, when I took a day off. But we've got one more tier list to do, which again will be out on Friday or Sunday, and that'll be for the openings ranking. And then I think I might try and do the endings ranking as well. Depends how long the episode is, but I think it'll be short enough for me to do an openings and ending tier list ranking. Probably not together. I'll probably rank the openings separately than the endings, but both in the same video. So hope you guys look forward to that. Again, thank you guys very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.